Good evening, friends. This evening I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the life of Rajarsi Janandananda. He was the first spiritual successor to Paramahansa Yogananda and a very close disciple, a very advanced disciple. So tonight I'll give you a few stories about his life, and we'll have some music, a few breaks, and a few meditation breaks. But right now we'll begin with a prayer, and then we'll have some music. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, dear friend, beloved God, great masters of East and West, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahasaya, Swami Shri Yukteswar, and Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, friend and guide, Swami Kriyananda, and Blessed Rajarsi Janakananda. We open our hearts and our lives. Come into our hearts. Strengthen our devotion. Help us to hear and be inspired to search deeper and deeper for our beloved God through this inspiration tonight, through this great soul. Om, peace. Amen. And we'll have some music.
I have been roaming, forsaken by thee, who hast seen me groping, hardly ever answering. I shall be roaming, bursting all the boundaries of heart, evermore moving towards thee, to thy vast, unthrobbing heart. Come thou to me, O Lord, O come at last to me. Centuries and centuries I have waited now for thee. Through endless incarnations I've called out for thy name, searching by the streamlets of all my silvery dreams. I know that thou must come at last to steal the flowers of my heart. In sorrow thrills I pipe my love, I sadly sing my song to thee. And yet I know my love must reach thee, though many lives I have to wait. On mountain crags of high devotion I sadly sing my song, my song, my song. For I have been roaming, forsaken by thee, who hast seen me groping, hardly ever answering. I shall be roaming, bursting all the boundaries of heart, evermore moving towards thee, Oh, come at last to me. Centuries and centuries I have waited now for thee. Through endless incarnations I've called out for thy name, searching by the streamlets of all my silvery dreams. I know that thou must come at last to steal the flowers of my heart. In sorrow thrills I pipe my love, I sadly sing my song to thee. And yet I know my love must reach thee, though many lives I have to wait on mountain crags of high devotion. I sadly sing my song, my song, my song.
Was born on May 5th, 1892 in Archibald, Louisiana. He was born James Lynn, and you'll hear me refer to him as Rajarsi Janandananda or Jesse at times. His father was Jesse Williams Lynn, and he died at the age of 92, and he had been a farmer his whole life. He was Scotch-Irish, and his mother was Salitha Jane Archibald Lynn, and she was Scottish. And James was born in Archibald, Louisiana, so you have some ideas to who started or owned the town that he was born in. Now, his story was kind of the quintessential American success story. He was born after the Civil War, and the Civil War was in 1865, and Rajarsi was born in 1892. And so he was well after the Civil War and well after the Reconstruction period. However, his parents still felt this catastrophic effect from the Civil War. They had lost their slaves. They lost property, they'd lost land. And little Jesse at that time had been he didn't really have a normal education. He was born in a one-room log cabin. He was the fourth of 6 children. And at 5 years old, he would go to school, and he would walk to another log cabin, little one-room log cabin. It was 2 miles away. He would walk there and walk home. And the teacher didn't have a lot of time for him. So he ended up, because of that, he just found himself, he started educating himself, it seemed like, at a very young age. And he memorized completely, cover to cover, his spelling book. And there were people in the town, one of the storekeepers there was so impressed by that he put him on a Cracker Barrel one time and had him start to spell words that people would give to him. And words like incompatibility or incomprehensible. He's 5 years old. And then he would also give the definition of the word. And people were obviously very impressed. And in that very store, as he got older, he would actually sit outside and sell fruit for his family. But he remembers mostly that when he was a little boy, he worked side by side with his mother and his father. It was not an easy life. And at 6, he was chopping wood and he was picking cotton out in the fields. And his mother was she was Scottish. She's very robust, and she was kind of a strong woman. She was physically and she was very energetic. And he remembers most, as I mentioned, that's what his life was working side by side with his parents. And when his parents passed, this is what was said of them. Of Jesse, his father, it was written in the Beacon News. It said, his personality was one of rare sweetness and charm. His private life and his associations with neighbors and friends were models of manly virtue and of true and upright citizenship. In him were love of purity, a spirit of tenderness and kindness, Christian integrity and loyalty, loving fidelity to family and friends, delicacy of thought and feeling, a high conception of one's work as the expression of one's character, and therefore a holy thing, courage to fight even to the end the ills of life, and a soul aglow with southern warmth. Now, Salitha was written like this. She practiced her Presbyterian religion and consecrated her life to the welfare of others. She gave her utmost in devoted service. Prompted by a heart as open as the gates of day, she shed kindness as the sun sheds light. So that's pretty impressive, considering their lives were as difficult as they were, and their struggles were as much as they were. And Jesse, or James Lynn, grew up. He was a very shy, somewhat introverted young man. And when he was after school, he started working for the Missouri Pacific Railroad. This is when he was still in grammar school. And he would sweep out the freight house, and he would keep them. And of course, all the managers and every station manager wanted him. And he would make $2 a month. At the age of 14, he graduated grammar school, and he started working a job at Mangum Railroad Station. And while he worked, he made his room and board by doing chores for his cousin who owned a hotel, and he stayed there, and that's where he lived. And then from there, he went to making $35 a month, and then $65 a month when he moved to Faraday. And when he was in Faraday, this is all when he was before he was 17. All of this when he lived in Faraday, his other brother came, and there was a position that was open, and James got him that position. And then there were hard times, and the company was needing to let go of people because they weren't getting the business that they needed. And so James decided that he would be the one to go, even though his brother came on last. But he decided he would be the one to go, and the reason that his brother came on was because it was the promise then that he could get married. So he had gotten married. But James decided to move on, and of course he wasn't long before he was given another job. He was quickly recommended for a job with the MK&T Railroad in Moberly, Missouri. And this turned out to be his road to Kansas City, which is where he's most famously noted as having lived his life. Well, he worked with a lot of older people, and it didn't inspire him very much. So he continued on his journey, and he found a job in Kansas City. And he was working for the chief clerk to the Missouri Pacific. He was a division engineer. And within 7 years, he became the general manager of a big underwriting company. And this is where he made a lot of his money, was through insurance. And it was second only to Epperson, U.S. Epperson. And Epperson was another large company who at one point he ended up buying out, or buying a part of it, I believe. But he also took over the job as not only he started out as the assistant to the clerk, and then he ended up becoming the chief clerk for the Missouri Pacific. And at 17, he was handed this auditor's job. Promotions were coming extremely fast for him at a very young age. But during this, there was a 7-year period that he was still educating himself. He was teaching himself actually accounting, and it had been suggested to him that perhaps he should go on for further education. And after a year and a half, after he started with the accounting job, he started in law school. And he started at the Kansas City School of Law. And he did that with the understanding that he would also complete his high school degree, because he'd only gotten to the ninth grade, and then everything had stopped for him with education. So he promised that he would continue on. He would complete his high school degree. He would complete his law training. He would carry a full load in law. And he also, within a year's time, took on a correspondence course in accounting. So he was doing all of that on top of holding down a full-time job. And at 21, before he completed law school, he was admitted to the bar. And at 24, he passed the state examination with the highest grade on record at the time. Now, there was a rule that they would only allow, you had to be 25 to pass to take the exam, but they made this exception because at the time that he held 20% interest in the accounting firm that he was working for. So you understand, he's only 24. So he was quite an extraordinary young man, and of course grew into a very wealthy man. And around the time he was 40, he met Paramahansa Yogananda, his guru. And we'll have some more music now and some little meditation before we go any further.
I have a love who's far away, far away, far away. I have a love who's far away, farther away than the stars. Mother, you've stolen my heart away, heart away, heart away. Mother, you've stolen my heart away, farther away
the stars. Keep me not bound here, teach me to fly far from earth's madness, free ere I die. Keep me not bound, Ma, teach me to fly farther away than the stars. There's nothing here nearly so dear, nearly so dear, nearly so dear. Mother, I know your love's ever near, though farther away than the stars.
No birth, no death, no cast have I. No birth, no death, no cast have I. Father, mother, have I none. Father, mother, have I none. I am he, blissful spirit, I am he. I am he, blessed spirit, I am he. Mind nor intellect nor ego feeling, mind nor intellect nor ego feeling, sky nor earth nor metals am I, sky nor earth nor metals am I am he, blessed spirit, I am he, blessed spirit, I am he. No birth, no death, no cast have I, no birth, no death, no cast have I. Father, mother, have I none. Father, mother, have I none. I am he, blessed spirit, I am he. 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 Mind nor intellect nor ego feeling, mind nor intellect nor ego feeling, sky nor earth nor metals am I, sky nor earth nor metals am I am he, blessed spirit, I am he. I am he, blessed spirit, I am he. I am he, blessed spirit, I am he. I am he, blessed spirit, I am
So in 1932, St. Lin met Master, and he was a brilliant businessman, had accomplished many things by the time he met Yogananda, had made a lot of money. He was a very generous man, as you read on his life. He was extremely generous and kind. And in 1932, he met his guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. And Master later bestowed on him the spiritual title and the name of Rajarsi Janandananda. And I will tell you in one moment the significance of his name. Maybe not. But Rajarsi is king, and then of course King Janakanada. Oh, here we go. Rajarsi is a spiritual title meaning royal rishi. Janakanada means the bliss of Janaka. Janaka was a great king as well as a fully self-realized master of ancient India. Rajarsi is composed of Raja, king, or Si, Rajarsi, Rishi, illumined saint or sage. And as Master said, for you, St. Lin, I interpret this title as King of the Saints. Pretty special. By the time Rajarsi was a financial success, by any standard, his inner life, however, was another story. And this is in his words. My life was business, but my soul was sick, and my body was decaying, and my mind was disturbed. I was so nervous I couldn't sit still. I was a totally frustrated man. I had thought money would give me happiness, but nothing seemed to satisfy me. I lived in a state of nervousness, a state of strain, an inward state of uncertainty. And then I met Paramahansa Yogananda and started to practice yoga. And that meeting proved to be extremely significant. It was a turning point in his life, but it also marked a new era of history for Paramahansa Yogananda and his world mission. Because shortly after they met, or actually shortly before their meeting, Master had passed through a grave time, and he was trying to keep his work from total collapse. It was a big time of upheaval in society, and financial burdens and other burdens were almost insurmountable. And then Rajarsi came, and he assumed many of the financial burdens of the society. The scriptures of India say that when a great master comes to this world with a God-ordained mission for the upliftment of humanity, he brings with him advanced disciples from past incarnations to assist his work. And in a talk in 1942, Paramahansa Ji referred to this saying, a great saint in India used to cry, "Oh, my dear ones, where are you? Wherever you are, come to me." And one by one they came as his disciples in his life. And so it is with those close disciples around me. I knew them before. And when I heard the name of Mr. Lin, I know that I had known him before. I knew that such a one would be sent to me. In a 1932 letter to ashram residents at Self-Realization Fellowship headquarters in Los Angeles, Paramahansa Ji wrote, lecture campaign work at Kansas City, and meeting some of the most spiritual Yogoda students there has been one of the greatest happiness of my life. Such was Rajarsi's receptivity that in the first meeting in January of 1932, the Guru was able to transmit to him the experience of samadhi, ecstatic union with God. In a lecture in 1933, now I'm going to read that again, just in case it hasn't sunk in. He said, when he first met Rajarsi, he transmitted to him the experience of samadhi, ecstatic union with God. In a lecture in 1933, Paramahansaji said, a wealthy Kansas City man, the first day we met, touched Christ consciousness. His soul was ripe. And when he received the Kriya technique, he said, life boils within my spine. And that is the technique that I have been seeking, and I have found God. And then he meditated for 6 hours straight with Master on their first meeting. And we'll hear some more music now.
Whence on the soundless roar doth come, when drowseth matter's dreary drum, on shores of bliss home booming breaks, all earth, all heaven, all body shakes. The bumblebee now hums along, baby own doth softly sing his song. From Krishna's flute the call is sweet, 'tis time the watery God to meet. Cords bound to flesh are broken home, vibrations burst and meteors fall. The hustling heart, the boasting breath, no more shall cause the yogi's death. The God of fire with fervor sings, Om, Om, his joyous harp now rings. Prana, God with power sounds, the wondrous bells, the soul resounds. All nature lies in darkness soft, the star divine is seen aloft. Subconscious dreams have gone to bed, 'tis then that one doth hear Om's tread. Oh, upward climb the living tree, hark to the cosmic symphony. From Om, the soundless roar from home, the call for light or dark to roam. From Om, the music of the spheres, from Om, the mist of nature's tears, all things of earth and heaven declare, Om, Om, resounding everywhere. From Om, the music of the spheres, from Om, the mist of nature's tears, all things of earth and heaven declare, Om, Om, resounding everywhere.
Master and Rajarsi were extremely close, and you really get a sense for this when you read some of the correspondence that he had, or some of the things that he said about Rajarsi. They were really two sides of a coin. Rajarsi was the more materialistic side, in the sense that he was very, very capable on the material plane, and Master, of course, was the deep spiritual guide. When Rajarsi took over for Master, many people would call him the Guru, and he said absolutely not, that he was not the Guru. He would never say that he was the Guru. He always deferred to Master. So Master said of Saint Lin, "It is because of Mr. Lin's great love for God that I have given him the title of saint. In him and in a number of others in the West has been fulfilled a prophecy uttered by our great master Babaji of India, who said in 1894, 'The vibrations of many spiritual seeking souls in the West come flood-like to me. I perceive potential saints in America and in Europe waiting to be awakened. The love and friendship of Saint Lin and the affection of many other wonderful souls has brought me back to this country.'" This is Master speaking. "I had thought I might not return here. All places are the same to me because they are filled with omnipresent spirit. And when I close my eyes, I am with my Father, and I don't know whether my body is in India or in America, but the love of these friends brought me back again. In friendship, there is no compulsion. In all other human relationships, there is some form of compulsion, but friendship is the natural and spontaneous gift of the heart. Saint Lin and I live in the greatest joy and friendship, and what I had expected of him in spiritual development, he has more than fulfilled. He represents the best in American business principles, as well as in universal spiritual principles. In the Encinitas Hermitage, Saint Lin and I have been meditating day and night, and I have a hard time even getting him to eat or sleep. And in this country, I have never before known such unity and friendship, such divine communion." And then Master said in 1940, it was a letter written to Saint Lin for his birthday on May 5th in 1940, and Master starts by saying, "This letter is written to tell you how much India and I appreciate the precious gift of the Father in your birth. You were born for the sake of world upliftment. I especially appreciate your birthday, for besides being a gift to the world, you are a personal gift from God to me of the highest, sincerest, and sweetest friendship." And he goes on later in his speech, he said, "I know how religiously Mr. Lin conducts his life. He doesn't drink or smoke. He follows a simple diet of vegetables and fruit juices." Actually, he's really noted for having been extremely strict with his diet when he finally got on the path. "He leads a celibate life. He doesn't go to the movies. For recreation, he sits on the grass and he meditates on the divine. His whole existence is an exalted one, even though he attends to heavy business duties and is required to travel extensively to connect with his business responsibilities. He has had many temptations thrown in his way, but he has not succumbed to them. He has felt that joy within which is greater than anything the world can offer. Lord, thou art more tempting than any other temptation." Master traveled to Austria to see Therese Neumann. She was a stigmatist, and she would go into states of ecstasy, and then she would receive the Passion of Christ. So she would actually have visions of the crucifixion of Christ, and then her body would translate through her hands, through blood that would come from her eyes. She would actually experience his whole crucifixion. And so Master went to see her, and he got to see her. She actually was not seeing anyone because she was being protected by the church, and she was asked not to see anyone, but she agreed to see Master. And Master wrote back to Rajarsi, and he said, "Remember, as Therese sees Christ as he was, so also by concentrating days on any saint, his whole life on earth can be perceived." And Master was referring to Rajarsi's connection with Lahiri Mahasaya, who is one of the gurus of our path, who was the householder guru, and he was also an accountant. And he said, "Ever go deeper into the corridor of eternity, never looking back, never measuring your progress. Race continuously, calmly, with calm speed, progress on and on into the infinite, ever-expanding sphere of joy. Every day live in eternity, fearing nothing, expecting nothing, shirking nothing. For God is the only goal. Swallow up life and death in eternal consciousness of God. And then he ends by saying, give my deepest blessings to yourself and the dear group." And Master said, this was written to Mr. Lin, "At heart, renounce everything and realize that you are just playing a part in the intricate cosmic movie. You will then forget it is a dream. Our environment produces the delusion in us of the seeming importance of our present roles and our present tests. Rise above that temporal consciousness. So realize God within, that he becomes the only environment, the only ambition, the only influence in your life. When you and I have fulfilled our mission on earth, we shall be released, and then we shall be free to stay in heaven or to come back here. And when we are free, we may take trips to earth to load our boats with shipwrecked souls and to bring them safely to the divine shores." And we'll have some music and some meditation.
Life is a dream, time like a stream, carries our burdens away. Never despair, joys everywhere. Love can befriend you today. Free from all care, like birds on the air, soar above griefs and worries, seek joy and be gay. Often on earth, things of great worth, worldly and ambitions defy. Sometimes a friend helps us ascend up from life's cares to the sky. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh.
Life is a dream, time like a stream carries our burdens away. Never despair, joys everywhere. Love can befriend you today. Free from all care, like birds on the air, soar above griefs and worries, seek joy and be gay. Often on earth, things of great worth, worldly ambitions defy. Sometimes a friend helps us ascend up from life's cares to the sky. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh.
I'm going to end with a poem that Master Paramahansa Yogananda wrote to Rajarsi. And this was in 1949 for Master's or Rajarsi's birthday again. My little one, you and I are one in Mother Supreme, in her eternity's dream. When this earth melts in the cosmic dust and our bodies dissolve as they must, still our souls as a blended starlet will shine forever, ever expanding in the divine. This life is not only a dream, but a dream that already has come and gone in the mind of the Divine One. Thus do I behold with eternity's eyes of old all our earthly business pressures, scant successes, struggles, and nightmares, all already dissolved in time's cosmic molten stream, flowing from her cosmic dream. You and I, though nigh, are no more here, in this cosmic motion picture since you are gone. There is no worry, struggle, none, only to calmly remember that we dreamt our dream and now are with her, only her. Dreams are disturbing and hard to take, but each dreamer should dream half awake. Nightmares and beautiful dreams are true a while, but never as they seem. So good or bad, whatever be coming, remember, you are dreaming, only dreaming. This dream lies that we are here, prisoners of a clod of earth, chained to life and death, while we are already free everywhere. To delusion that tells salvation and freedom are far away, 'tis wisdom that knows we dwell in everlasting freedom, now and always. In wakefulness of Samadhi's light, forget all dreams of the cosmic night. You and I are free forever. And now in the cosmic mother, where we are, no scratch of worries can ever come near. You and I forever are shining in her love star. And this is what Rajarsi said. Mr. Lin was born on a farm and he died on a farm, and his birth took place in a one-room log cabin. But his death occurred in a spacious, well-appointed home on a 668-acre estate. Lin Farms in Borrego Springs, California, on February 20th, 1955. He often reflected on life's contrast and expression of the inexorable law of relativity that governs the phenomenal world. And this is what he said: God is the only immutable, the only security. God bless you, and I hope that you take some inspiration from this evening.